Thanks for joining us here on ICANN Media. I'm your host, Rob Hislop. As part of our ongoing series of introducing you to the nominees for the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award, Energy Services field, we've got our third nominee right now, and it's Mike Dunn with Enerbuilt Technologies. Tell us a little bit about Enerbuilt, Mike.
Enerbuilt Technologies was a company that we founded in 2007 to supply flameless heating equipment to the oil and gas industry. We saw a niche market where there was an opportunity to look at doing things a little bit differently, and came across a product that ultimately ended up filling a niche, and we kind of grew it organically from there.
So you say flameless heating. Explain to our audience what that would be.
So there's multiple kinds of flameless heat, but in particular the stuff that Enerbuilt rents and distributes mostly is equipment where you'll capture all the waste heat energy off of it. So think of it like an electrical generator, but instead of producing electricity, you produce heat. So along with converting the rotational horsepower into heat, you'll then go capture the exhaust heat and the radiant heat off the engine. And the end result is in some of our larger units, you can get upwards of 1.5 million BTUs an hour at almost 200 degrees Fahrenheit. So it serves a pretty decent market, especially in the oil and gas industry.
And of course, one of the key points that you make on your website is safety is a concern when it comes to heating as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, go back to the oil and gas piece. I mean, anywhere you have hydrocarbons, you have the opportunity for flash incidents, and you really want to work towards keeping your ignition sources low. So that's one of the benefits of this product line. There's no open flame, and where conventionally you would compete against like a Herman Nelson or a particular type of indirect or direct fired unit that has a flame there, these do not. And that's essentially the benefit and why they're much more suitable for oil and gas applications and general construction. I mean, we're seeing more and more people just want to reduce the risk associated with having any type of flame on a work site. And since we've started, really the applications have grown each and every year.
Another key point that you make is that you're trying to leave a smaller footprint as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The one of the fantastic pieces about the equipment is that it not only produces the heat through converting the shaft horsepower, but we did some original business development stuff, business calcs against looking at boilers. And boilers use water. Boilers in the drilling industry, to back up a step, have been the flameless heat forever. They'll sit a boiler on a well site and plumb the steam 25 meters and exchange it then through another heat exchanger in and around the well center. But that's a whole bunch of energy changes. So not only do you have the transportation of water, the fuel to transport the water to the drilling site, then you have to change that energy from flame to heated water to steam, from steam back again into heat, and it's a really inefficient process. So in a nutshell, these units can do a very similar job in a much more efficient fashion and without the need for water. So in that application, it's kind of a triple threat.
So Mike, tell me, where do you see the future going now as far as the company's concerned?
Well, we've got a tremendous amount of opportunity. We've been very fortunate to have some really good acceptance in the oil sands, and that's where a big chunk of our growth is at this stage. Additionally, we've developed a business model where we'll actually go out and operate the equipment for a client. So rather than treating it as a rental piece of equipment, we actually turned it into a bit of a service. And I can see in the future that we transition that business model to take on additional products and then expand into other geographies. There's obviously northern BC and a whole bunch of that other stuff going on in Western Canada that we would gravitate towards in the future.
So you've been at this now for 7 years. Would you have any advice for budding entrepreneurs, people trying to get started in their own business?
Absolutely. One of the most beneficial things that I've had the opportunity to learn from is really other people and guys that have been there, done that, much before I ever have. And, I think early on in my career, some of the first 3-4 years where you struggle, you feel like it's yourself against the world. And then I was lucky enough in year 5, I joined EO, which is the Entrepreneurs Organization in Edmonton, and that was tremendous. And additionally ended up bringing on some seasoned industry vets to advise within our company. And the knowledge they bring is tremendous. And I really wish that I would have reached out much earlier, because they can steer you around an iceberg you may not even know is there. And it's been a huge plus, and we're very thankful to have these guys on board.
What about your thoughts of being recognized by Ernst & Young as one of the nominees for Entrepreneur of the Year?
It's definitely an honor and a privilege. It's uncomfortable given the fact that, no business is just one person. And that's been one of the things that's been tough to kind of get our heads wrapped around with this award, because really it's a company award. It's called Entrepreneur, but it should be plural, truly. And there's just, everybody that's worked with us through the first 7 years of business that put up with things not being great, or me learning how to be a better manager and all the rest of it. I mean, really this is for them. So it's a thrill, but really it's for the people.
Mike, thank you so much for your time.
You bet. Thank you very much.
We've been chatting with Mike Dunn. Ernst & Young will be announcing its winner this fall.